Hey guys, I have a new toy in my home workshop, the RA1181 benchtop router table from Bosch. I've been thinking about router tables for a while and decided on this. Although we do have other models from Bosch, the RA1141 and 1171, I decided on this. Of course, we do have from Ryobi as well as Skill, and those are all in the low budget, and this is also not very expensive. And on the higher end, we have several hundreds to a couple of thousands, but it all depends on what your requirements are. And so I decided, and this, so I opened it the upside down, and it comes in a very nice packaging, very neatly packed, very well thought out, I would say. And the instructions are also very clear. That's the power cable where you can even connect a shop vacuum, and that can be switched with the same switch that you use to power on and off the router. So that is really convenient, because a vacuum is definitely a necessity with this. Generates so much of dust. And the legs, these legs are made of plastic but very sturdy, and can of course mount it to the table, or maybe a half an inch plywood at the base, but it's not really needed. You can even clamp it. You can see there is provision for clamping at the legs, and this one is for winding the cord, the power cord. It's very convenient, I would say. As I mentioned, the manual is very well written. It comes in several different languages. All the instructions, it's like assembling the Meccano set. As a child, as a kid, I did assemble a couple of Meccano sets, and the instructions are like that, very clear. The aluminum base, this is the base plate. It has provision for several different models, even non-Bosch. You just need to use the right, check the manual, check it on the online site there. It will tell you whether it is directly suitable. And this is the fence, very well made. And in conclusion, I have some conclusion remarks at the end of this video. So this is the RA1181, and assembly is very straightforward. You just need to organize all the screws. This is what I did. I had a tray with different sections there where I put in all the different kinds of screws, because everything comes mixed in a bag, and then you need to first sort out the screws so that it is easier later. Just find out the kind of head it has, and the type of drive you need, whether it's an Allen wrench or a star screwdriver, and the length of the screw. So I segregated everything so that it's easy during the assembly process. So preparation will take a little time, but once you are prepared and you know what you're doing, just follow the instructions in the manual without skipping anything, and it's very easy assembly, and everything goes as designed by these engineers. They have done a good job, and this is a 3/16th, I believe. You need an open end or a ring wrench. I tried initially using a box socket, box or socket wrench, but that doesn't work. So, and this is the power panel. As I mentioned, you can connect a shop vac or any other thing, but then shop vac is the most obvious thing you would use along with a router. And it has an overload protection as well. So here you'll need a socket because an open end wrench will not enter. So just to tighten it, you don't have to over tighten it, just make it snug. And this is for the vacuum hose connected at the middle of the fence at the back. So it just mounts with 2 screws. And this is for the fence. They call it as the sacrificial part of the fence. This is made of MDF, but you can also make your own if you want to. And this is the protection that comes on top of the router bit attached to the fence. You can lower it or increase depending on the workpiece height. And here I am using the level adjusting screws, which has locking nuts. So 8 of them goes into each corner and the middle. So there are 8 holes, all the 4 corners plus 4 in the center. And those, depending on the level height, you can tighten it or loosen it, and that way, using a straight edge, you can ensure that the base plate, not the base plate, the router plate is level with the table. So that is how you tighten and loosen. There's an Allen wrench given, and then eventually you mount, you secure the top, the router plate, using 4 screws. That is a little inconvenient if you want to remove the plate, but then I think securing is important. Okay guys, in conclusion, the router table is already assembled, and this is also assembled, the fence. All I need to use is the feather, whatever you call it, I forgot the name. So those holes, and otherwise this is done. You just need to fix it on the router table with 2 bolts here, similar to this one. So I hope you can see that. So this is really well made. I read a lot of reviews on the RA 1181. The reason I chose that is for my use, and I'm new to routing, and there are other 2 models. I think the price range is similar, but that uses an MDF top, and this has been selling pretty well, although it's not currently available on Amazon, and they have advertised it at 200 Canadian, but not in stock. Whereas Home Depot, it's 325 Canadian, and most other places away from Toronto City is also $300 Canadian. But I purchased, I booked it on Amazon because they said that they would ship it when it is available at 200 Canadian. I was a little surprised. How come the price is so less? So anyway, I took a chance and went to Atlas. It's on the west side of Toronto City. Went there, and to my utter surprise, although they had advertised it at 300 Canadian on their website, they sold it at 248 in store. So that was unexpected. So that was nice. So I purchased it and cancelled the Amazon thing, because in any case there was no timeline given for the Amazon shipment. And I like this fence. I believe this fence, although I do not own the other models, I think this fence is better than the other one. This is really heavy. This is aluminum extrusion, but very well made. It's really sturdy, very heavy. And these are all sacrificial MDF plates. You can replace that if needed, if by chance you damage those. And I think the vacuum port and all that, I think all in all this is okay for my kind of use. As I mentioned, I am new to routing. I'm no pro in this. I figured that a good routing table was really essential for good work. And now this is part of the routing table. Yesterday I had not done this, so last evening I mounted. So this is the plate and only 3 screws for the Bosch fixed base for the 1617. 1617 is what I have. That comes with as a package, a fixed base and plunge base. So I use the fixed base. I think the plunge base doesn't go into this one. It's too big, and regardless, I think the purpose of this is for something else. So I use the fixed base here, and they have given in the by the way, the instruction book for the router table RA1181 is really good, very well written, and if you follow the instructions without skipping anything or jumping, then you're bound to get it right the first time without any issues. Everything is very clear, the screw types, the screw heads, and the length of the screws and all that. So here only 3 screws for this fixed base, and they have mentioned what screws to use and the holes. And the best part is with the fixed base here for the Bosch 16 RA1161 is the model number for that, which comes with the Bosch fixed, and it's a package deal. So for this you have this micro adjustment, and that micro adjustment can also be done from the top. Most people know this, I think, those who own this. I have just put this pin here, but I'll be removing it and use it only when needed, when I'm not using the fence. This is a guide pin. So 3 screws, 1, 2, 3, and this is where you adjust the depth, the height of the router depth from above. Of course, you'll have to release this. You will have to release this when you're doing that, and then lock it in again. So that's done. So this will go as a just on top of the. Once the router is inserted, this will just go and sit on the router table, and I just need to put 4 screws here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 screws, and that's it. So that is done. This is already leveled. So this is taken care of. Now, I just wanted to, as a beginner, I found it really confusing and difficult to understand the complete information available. It's available, but then many people have actually posted very helpful videos on YouTube. I took that information, and in conclusion, I wanted to have template routing capability also, although I have purchased a few bits with top and bottom bearings. That will help me, because recently I made a project. I built a lap steel guitar at home, and there I realized that proper bits with the bearing at the right place is really important. But anyway, I thought I went to Lee Valley, although these are all available in Amazon and other places. Took a chance at Lee Valley because they have quality products. So I purchased a whole set, and this is an adapter, because these are all the Porter cable inserts. That is the standard they use, with a threaded ring here. So you can put different size this one here, inserts, and then using this ring you can tighten it. But then it doesn't go directly on this plate for the Bosch. I think for the DeWalt and a few other routers, the dimension is exactly this one, so that you can mount these inserts directly onto the base plate of the router. For Bosch, however, the Porter cable inserts do not go because the dimensions, as you can see, are different. So for that you need to buy an adapter, and there are many ways. You can actually even buy a different router base plate, ranging anywhere from $30-40 to even over $80-90, made of acrylic. But you can do one at home also. It's not because as long as you're using this, this diameter here, this circle edge need not be very accurate. This is what I realized. Initially I was thinking of doing, then I thought, how will I get the exact diameter, the distance has to be equal from all sides if you want to do proper routing. Then I realized that when you're using this, you really do not care about the edge here. It's nice to have a very accurate edge, but once you're using the template guide here, then everything is based on this one and not on this. So because you're not using the edge as a reference. So you can actually build one at home. It is not very complicated. There are many videos on YouTube. You can save money on that. But I took, first of all, initially I thought of building a router table at home. Then I realized this RA1181 is really worth acquiring. I think it's a very nice router table for its price. So a lot of unknowns are left out and you have something that is accurate. And so this is, I took a reasonably cheaper route for this one. I purchased this adapter. I could have built this one or maybe purchased a separate base plate, but this one just cost me $20. For what it is, $20 is a lot because it is a flimsy aluminum cast, but still it does the job. Once it is mounted, it works well, and this knob you can actually release this part of the plate. It comes out. I'll show you. So once you release this turns and then this comes off this way. So, and here you can insert the Bosch original router, the guide plates. They have, I think, 6 or 7. And I heard, although I do not own that, I read in the reviews that the quality is not really good. And these are good. These are brass inserts. So I decided to go this way, the Porter cable standards. And the only thing I had to do was this one. The model number for this is RA1129. RA1129 is the model number for this. Although it is not advertised clearly on Amazon and elsewhere, this comes with this adapter, this aluminum adapter, and you need to buy these, and this is 1/3/16. There are 2 varieties available at Lee Valley, 1/3/8 and 1/3/16. Anyway, I purchased 1/3/16, and these inserts. And in fact, I purchased whatever they had. So these are different sizes. You can see I have not even opened. So essentially, this diameter varies based on the routing that you need to do, you want to do, and I believe this depth also changes with a few. Otherwise, this just inserts into where we have this one. This will just go in, and the same ring mounts onto that one. So that is what I did. I purchased, I think it comes with a pack of 8. So I have all those. Then another thing I purchased, sometimes when you buy these plates, aftermarket plates, you get a centering pin. In fact, the Bosch centering pin, for what it is expensive, and it is made of plastic, I think. So I felt that this metal piece would be better. This is not really expensive. This is what I purchased from Porter Cable. I beg your pardon, from Lee Valley. And this is not very expensive. This is about $7. So you can use this for both the 1/4 inch as well as 1/2 inch collet, and then use this pin either this side or this side to center your base plate, so that everything is, this is really right at the center. So I still need to, the weather is really bad now. I wanted to try out a few things, but it's raining, and I have moved the router table to my garage, and I just wanted to complete this video with this information. I hope you benefit from whatever information you have seen here. In fact, there is a lot of videos out there, and then talking about different things. But I didn't see anywhere where they had covered the Porter cable adapters and with what the Bosch adapter. That's about it. Thank you very much for watching.